Have you ever really stopped to think about what happens when we turn out the lights and close our eyes? It feels like we're just switching off, right? But what's really going on is that our brains are kicking into high gear. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and explore the absolutely incredible science of sleep. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's start with a fact that is just wild. We spend about 1/3 of our entire lives asleep. Just let that sink in for a second. If you live to be 90 years old, that means you will have spent 30 of those years completely unconscious. 30 years, that's a massive chunk of our time.
So, that leads to the big question, right? What is actually happening in our brains during all that time? Because it's definitely not just an off switch. Nope, it's an active, pretty mysterious process that science is really only now starting to fully get.
So let's kick things off with the big why. Why is sleep so incredibly essential? It's not just about resting, it's not about being lazy. It's an absolutely critical maintenance process that keeps your brain and your body running smoothly. Okay, check this out. One of sleep's most amazing functions is that it acts as a nightly deep clean for your brain. Seriously, imagine a tiny cleanup crew going to work inside your head every night. While you're sleeping, this system flushes out all these harmful waste proteins, the very same kind linked to Alzheimer's disease, at double the normal rate.
And what happens if you skip this nightly maintenance? Well, the consequences are pretty severe. Chronic sleep deprivation isn't just about feeling tired the next day. It's directly linked to a higher risk of serious health issues like heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Prioritizing your sleep means prioritizing your long-term health.
So how on earth does our brain manage this whole complex process? Well, deep inside, there's a sophisticated mission control for sleep. Let's meet the key players that are running the show every single night.
The main boss of this whole operation is a tiny, almond-sized structure called the hypothalamus. Now, don't let its size fool you. It's the master regulator, the control center that's basically deciding when you feel sleepy and when you feel awake.
Now, sitting right inside the hypothalamus is a special cluster of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN for short. Think of the SCN as your brain's master clock. It's wired directly to your eyes, so when light comes in, the SCN knows it's daytime and sends out the signal to be alert.
Next up is the brainstem, and it plays two key roles. First, it produces a chemical called GABA, which acts like a brake to slow down all that brain activity. Second, and this is incredible, it sends signals to temporarily paralyze your muscles. This state is known as atonia, and it's the reason you don't physically act out your dreams. Pretty important.
Okay, so we know which parts of the brain are in charge, but what actually triggers that feeling of sleepiness? Well, it all comes down to a constant dance between two really powerful forces, your internal body clock and something we call sleep pressure.
It works like this. On one side, you have your circadian rhythm. That's your internal 24-hour clock that tells you when to be alert and when to rest. On the other side, you have sleep pressure. And this is the cool part. Think of it like a sand timer. From the moment you wake up, a chemical called adenosine starts building up in your brain. The more adenosine, the sleepier you feel. That overwhelming urge to sleep at night, that's your body clock and peak sleep pressure aligning perfectly, telling you it's time to go to bed.
Now, light is the most powerful tool for syncing that body clock. Morning light exposure tells your SCN, your master clock, that the day has officially begun. It sends a powerful "wake up" signal throughout your entire body to get alert and get moving.
And you guessed it, the reverse is also true. Light at night, especially the blue light from our screens, totally confuses your brain. The master clock sees that light and thinks it's still daytime, so it blocks the release of melatonin, the hormone that's supposed to make you sleepy. Your late-night scrolling is literally telling your brain to stay awake.
All right, so let's say you've put your phone away, the lights are out, and you're finally drifting off. What happens next? Well, you don't just switch off. Instead, you begin this amazing journey, descending through multiple stages of sleep, each with its own unique purpose.
The first part of the journey is non-REM, or NREM sleep. It starts with N1, that very light sleep where you can be woken up really easily. Then you descend into N2, where your body temperature drops and you spend about half of your total sleep time. Finally, you reach N3. This is the deep restorative stage. This is where your body does most of its physical repair work and locks in certain types of memories. So a typical night is broken down pretty much like this. And what's surprising is that a full 50% of our sleep is spent in that middle N2 stage. Deep sleep and the famous REM sleep each take up about a quarter of the night. This just goes to show you that every single stage plays a really vital role.
And that brings us to the final and most famous stage of the sleep cycle, REM sleep. This is where things get really active, really interesting, and still pretty mysterious. It's a critical phase for our minds, where we process our dreams and our memories.
REM sleep is a complete paradox. Your brain is buzzing with activity, almost as if you were awake. Your eyes are darting back and forth. That's where the name rapid eye movement comes from. And yet your body is completely paralyzed. This stage is absolutely vital for locking in memories, managing emotions, and is even essential for brain development in kids.
And it's not just for mental housekeeping. Get this, research shows that REM sleep actually boosts our creativity and problem-solving abilities. During REM, your brain starts making new and unusual connections between ideas. That's exactly why you can sometimes wake up with the perfect solution to a problem you were stuck on the day before.
So when you really think about it, sleep isn't passive at all. It's this incredible process that cleans our brains, repairs our bodies, solidifies our memories, and boosts our creativity. So the only question left is, are you giving your brain the opportunity it needs to do all this vital work?